And we are live. Welcome back to Uncomfortable Convos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And welcome back to another episode of, obviously one of the best podcasts in the world, self-proclaimed, but I'm sure it is. I'm just joking. No, thank you guys for everybody who supports the podcast. If you could give us a thumbs up, a 5-star review, share it to somebody that this could potentially help. I really do appreciate it. And, shout out to everybody who shops over at naughtyscience.com. You guys are amazing. If you guys are looking to get to do some adult experiments, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you need to get some adult tools. And definitely Naughty Science has those for you. And shout out to everybody who has purchased stuff from Naughty Science. I really do appreciate you. I myself use my own products. So I definitely, if you haven't subscribed over to IG, definitely subscribe over there and you'll get some of my reviews. So I actually had somebody send a message about this episode and they wanted to request an episode. And I was actually thinking, I don't think I've ever done an episode on this topic. And it's basically why some guys struggle when their partner, their woman, wife, girlfriend makes more than them. And we're going to go over 10 different reasons why, or not 10, but 8 different reasons why guys struggle. And then we're also going to go through 8 different ways a guy can change. So fellas, if you're listening to this, it's okay that they make more than you. And if it's been hurting your ego, or if you know a guy that's struggling because his wife, his girl makes more than him, send him this podcast. This is a safe space. This is a safe area. If you receive this podcast through a message saying like, hey, you should check this out, it's because they care about you, okay? Because that's what we do here. We help. We're here to help other people, other guys, other females, and just educate people that way to show them that, hey, at the end of the day, it just comes down to communication. So, all right, we're going to go, again, over 8 different reasons why it affects some guys so much. And then we're going to go through 8 ways that they could potentially fix these issues. Because, why just point at the problem? Why not give some solutions? So I was like, I want to give some solutions as well. So the first one that I have is traditional gender roles. Society still pushes the idea that men should be the providers. And I get it. Growing up, like my parents, the guy was the provider, the man was the provider, but now there's a lot more opportunities for all different genders, to be able to be successful. And it doesn't come down to like, oh, you have to be a man. Of course, there's some certain jobs that require somebody who's stronger, taller, and things like that. So like, obviously the ideal person is a guy because we're just born naturally stronger and bigger for the most part, right? That's not like taking anything away from females, but that's just how it is sometimes. Not sometimes, but most of the times, guys usually are bigger and stronger. There's obviously some like guys who are a lot smaller, but I get it. Like now we live in a society where you can become successful. You can make more than men. You can make more than your partner, and it just takes a lot of hard work, maybe some education and things like that. And so naturally the roles start to change. Before is like, oh, the guy was bringing all the money, but now your wife has a great job, was able to, focus on a different type of career, and now is making more than you because this job pays better or the company she's with pays better, something like that. And so I get it. Like, so a lot of guys are used to that, right? They're used to, you shouldn't be making more than me. I should be making more than you because I should be the provider. And, so I understand why some guys feel that way, because that's how it was, even growing up, seeing that through like my family, like my parents, my grandparents, some of my uncles and stuff, like they were the providers. But then you started seeing like also their wives started working. They started making money. Like they started doing better because they were both contributing. Like my dad didn't like that. My mom wanted to work, but sometimes you just get bored and you just want to make more money, right? She was babysitting kids, cleaning houses, like doing stuff like that just to bring in more cash. So And did that ever get more than my dad? No. But it could have, like, if she would have known how to turn it into some sort of business, hire people, bring people with them, you know what I mean? Like, before it was just like, oh, I'll just go do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. So, sometimes it takes that mind shift. So the second one that I have is ego hit. Some men tie their masculinity to their income. When she makes more, it feels like it's a direct hit to their self-worth. And out of all these, I feel like this is the biggest one. A lot of guys it's an ego thing, because imagine, or they're probably imagining telling their friends, she makes more than me. She's doing more than me. And they're going to be like, damn, I thought you was the man, even though like most guys be like, oh shit, like she probably has a really good job, right? A great career, was able to, make something happen, and you got to be that supportive person. But some guys cannot let that go. They cannot let their female win, like their wife win, their girlfriend win, their partner win, meaning like, oh yeah, I'm the breadwinner now. Because now it's more like, okay, she's doing good now. Now it gives me the opportunity to, figure out what I really want to do. Like if I'm working a 9 to 5 that I don't like, what do I need to do to get, to replace my income with something that I really want to do? Instead of just taking it to the like ego, or if you're just getting to know somebody too, like if you tell them, hey, I do this, right away, they're like, fuck, they don't need me, or like, that's a huge ego killer. I just met this girl, but she's doing way better in life. And they say that whole comparison is the thief of joy. We need to stop comparing people, stop comparing where you're at right now. As long as you're trying to grow, to where somebody else is at, because maybe they started before you. Maybe they were able to meet the right person that took them there a little bit quicker, or gave them a different path that was faster to the right people or something like that, Because at the end of the day, most of the time it's about who you know, not what you know. There's some people who know a shit ton of stuff, but they didn't know the right people to get into certain positions, and they're just, doing. And there's some people who are not even qualified to be in the position that they're in, but it's because they met the right people. I mean, some of them may be qualified, but some of them definitely not qualified. But it is a huge ego killer. So instead of letting it hurt your ego, I mean, I'll get more into it a little bit later, but it should be motivation. It should be a drive. And so if you're talking to somebody, that's why, like, don't tell them right away how much you make. Like, if you're in the dating scene and you meet somebody, don't be like, yo, this is how much I make, because it could completely like hurt their ego, and now they don't even want to do anything. I know there was somebody on the on IG that was talking about how, it was always a problem. Her man always made her feel bad. That she was making more, she was doing better financially. The guy wasn't doing very well, but she was. But he felt like it was like she was bragging about him. No, like, you work hard to whatever, like, to the position you get in. It's because you were working hard. You didn't get there so you could be like, hey, I'm just gonna brag to everybody about like I'm gonna brag to my partner that I'm doing way better than them. No, it should be a motivation, like I said. Because it's a huge ego killer. Guys, our egos are easy. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Guys' egos are easy to hurt. Very easy. If you're getting an argument with them, you can be like, well, you suck in bed. Oh, it would destroy them. Oh, like, it's like, well, you have the tiniest D I've ever had. Oh, ego killer. I'm telling you, it's a huge ego killer. So because they're more worried about what other people are thinking, what people are going to say. If somebody finds out that you make more than them, they're going to feel like you're bragging about it, because it's always that why that person, and not you, it's like, why not me? That's what happens with a lot of people with, like, when you start moving up in life. For example, like, if you tell somebody, hey, I want to start this business, and they'll be like, yeah, hell yeah, start it. That would be dope. Like, you're going to kill it. And then you start it, and then they're like, hell yeah, you're doing great. And then it actually starts doing good and well. And then people are just like, well, they think they're the shit because they worked out, right? Because it, especially guys, if you come from the same area, uh, same resources, but you just happen to use your time to grow, to build something. They're like, we're from the same place. Like, how were you able to do this and I wasn't? It's all about drive, discipline, education. Um, but some guys feel the same way with like, say you start dating, like, we're from the same place, but you're doing better than me. How are you doing better than me? They're not going to tell you that, but that's one way that they're feeling. So, and if you get this right away when you start dating with somebody, I would just say avoid it, because it's not going to go away. Like, and especially if it's an issue, say you guys have a fight and it comes up on a fight, trust me, it's going to be a bigger issue later on, because of course there's some guys out there that'll be like, are fine with it, or it will motivate them to actually do better themselves. But that percentage is a lot lower compared to the ones that are just going to hate you about it. So, you might want to think twice if you want to continue something further with this person. The next one is the fear of rejection or replacement. They might fear she'll outgrow them or find someone on her level. And that is true. Some guys, that's why some guys need that reassurance that the girl still likes them. They're insecure. Because sometimes the girl doesn't even care that they make more than, like, they just happen to make more. Like, I didn't realize, they'd be like, I didn't realize this was like a measuring stick, right? I think they care more about other things. And of course they would worry about like how you handle your finances. Of course, they don't want to be with somebody who probably doesn't work at all or makes horrible financial decisions. But if you are hustling, grinding, like have a job and stuff, I'm sure most girls will look past it too, as long as you're doing something. But guys feel like that, like, oh, she does better than me. She's gonna find somebody who does better than her, and she's gonna leave me for him, and like a lot of things go through guys' head. So that's another thing. So like that's why they get upset at you that you continue to grow and continue to make more, because it could also be that, and not just the ego thing, but it's also a fear that you feel like they won't need you anymore because they're gonna find somebody who's doing better, right? So that's why, like, fellas, like, if that's an issue, just get out there and hustle. Find something that you want to do and see what you got to do to monetize it. Simple. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time, but you can do it. If your partner is doing better than you, just be like, yo, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. Like, is this something that you're on board with? And as long as she sees you trying to grow, trying to build that, whatever it was, I'm sure she's going to support you. There's been people who do stuff and their girl supports them, and then it turns into something great, and all because they had the person supporting them. So you just gotta, some of these girls will support you as long as you're making the effort to get better, to build and stuff. So let's not be so insecure. I would be insecure if you're a bum type, because it could be that too, that they know that they've been bumming it, they haven't really been trying to grow. And so now they're just like, they're going to get somebody who works a little bit harder than me. And now they're going to be like, why am I dealing with this dude over here? So that's also another reason. The next one is the control of power dynamics. When he makes more, he might feel more like in control. Flip it. And some men feel powerless or emasculated. So, and I get it. Because maybe when the guy's the breadwinner, maybe he feels like, yes, this is, like, I'm the breadwinner. I'm providing this for you, for the family, and so they feel that. But if it gets flipped, now they feel like, oh shit, she makes more than me, and like, what are people gonna say if she's the provider and like I'm not the provider? And it happens a lot with guys, especially, is like they like to have that power, not just like of providing, but power in a lot of things. Like, even if it's in charge of wherever they're at, in charge of their friend group. And like, some people love that power dynamic, and there's that same it goes with like, before, like, that's how humans are. Like, some people are addicted to that power, like controlling, like they want to be in charge. They want to feel like they're in charge. That's why like there's been so many people fighting for power. Like, do you not remember this from history? People constantly fighting, getting into wars because they're trying to control this area. For what? For power, to become more powerful. And that's just how some guys are. Of course, girls are the same way too, but I feel like guys are like that a little bit more. That's why a lot of those wars before where women didn't have a say, right? It was the guys' egos, the dynamic. They wanted to go back and forth because they wanted to have more power than the other person. They would brag that they have more power than this. They'd be like, oh yeah, but I have all of this. Like, I'm powerful. And that's still to this day, like, people want to be powerful. Pay attention to video games, like the whole Pokemon, like when they got more powerful, they feel like superior, more powerful if they got all the good ones, right? So just pay attention to that. It could be a power dynamic, but I'll get into the things we can do. So outside judgment, this is a huge one. Friends and family might throw shade, bro, she's carrying you, which can sting a man's pride. And that's true. Like, if you have those type of friends that are gonna rub it in like that, those are probably not the friends you want to have around. Instead of being like, oh dang, she's doing really well, and helping you grow too. Like, you don't want somebody who's just like gonna be throwing shade at you. Like, I have my friends that we joke around, we have fun, but at the same time, these are the same people we talk about, like hustling, grinding, like growing. Like my buddy Chris, he came for my birthday, hustler, grinder, killing it. We had fun, we fucked around, like for my birthday, got pretty lit. But then every now and then we call each other about business, like, what are we doing? What are you doing? Like, hey, like, this is what I have in mind, and we talk about stuff like that. Those are the type of people. Yes, it's cool to joke around and like give shit to each other every now and then, but if you have someone like rubbing it in like that, those aren't the type of friends you want around, first of all, okay? But a lot of guys also have that ego, have that pride, and have that insecurity that other people are going to see. Like, imagine, oh, she works over here, she does great, and then the man does this, right? Because I've seen it before. I know somebody who started doing some really well on social media, and then the man wasn't really doing anything. Instead, he was just like helping her grow her stuff, but he wasn't ashamed to do it, But people, I'm sure, were giving him shit, kind of like, because I heard it from other people, like, damn, he doesn't even work, he's not even doing. Maybe he's the one, like, they saw that they had an opportunity with this, so he's supporting this right here, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That man is secure with himself. Well, from the outside looking in, I don't know what's going on inside, but from the outside looking in, it looks like he's fine with it. Like, she's doing really well. So like, why not try to help her where he can, to try to grow whatever they have into something big, something huge. So that's why it depends on the person, because there's some people who worry about what are they going to say? And let's be honest, that's a lot of people. What are they going to say if they see me out with this dress? What are they going to say if they see me doing this? So like, what are they going to say if they see me fail? What are they going to say? Like, what are they going to think? We're too worried about other people, and guys especially are too worried about that, because it's a huge ego killer. Because again, the man's supposed to be the provider, the dominant one, the alpha. And if the girl happens to be doing better than him, like, it gets frustrating to him probably, because again, he might feel like people are talking about him. They might not be. He just thinks that they are because he's embarrassed, he's insecure about it. Or maybe he has those wrong people around him who do rub it in his face, and he's just like pissed off about that. Because sometimes, again, I'm sure you guys seen it. F my haters, that did this. And then if you ask them, next time you see somebody say, F my haters, they always be hating. They said I couldn't, but now I can. And if they're not very big or anything like that on social media, or ask them who their haters are. Guarantee you they won't be able to answer you that. And the reason they say that, like, trust me, I looked this stuff up, like psychology, tests. They just saw something that made them feel insecure upset. Maybe they got jealous about something, damn, he's doing this. And so now they instantly, like when they're feeling those feelings, they think that other people are feeling like that towards them when they're not. They didn't give a shit, to be honest. you know, because I've seen it time and time again. Like I even asked somebody too, like he was like, man, they be talking like F them haters. They said I couldn't, but I'm doing it. And I was like, well, who are your haters? And he was like, well, it's because, I'm sure they're out there. Like, I'm like, yeah, but who? Could not answer me at all. He's like, well, no one really told me. And I was like, exactly. It's all in your fucking head. Like you saw something that made you jealous, made you insecure, hurt your ego. And now you think that some people are thinking like that towards you, or you want to you want to big yourself up, motivate yourself. Like, I get it. You're trying to motivate yourself, kind of like, no, I'm killing it too. I need people to reassure me that I'm killing it. No, that's why people do that. Because again, unless they have a huge following, a celebrity or whatever, if you ask them who their haters are, guarantee you they won't be able to tell you. If you ask me who are some people that I don't like me, I can tell you exactly who they are. Because, obviously people have told me stuff, things that they've said, and I'm not like, fuck them haters, like that's not me. Like, if you want to say those things about me, then cool. More power to you. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep doing my thing. Like, I don't need to go on social media and be like, fuck them haters. They said I couldn't, but I did. See, I'm sure a lot of you guys are listening to that and you're like, damn, that does sound kind of dumb. Cool. Like, if you actually do got haters, keep proving them wrong. The reason they're hating for a reason. They're hating for a reason. Keep doing it. You don't need to get on social media and be like, fuck them haters. No. And that was actually thing. And so some guys feel like that too. It's in their head. They think that people are talking about them when they're really not. He thinks that, some guys look at somebody and they're like, damn, they probably know that she makes better. Or even a coworker, like say you meet he meets one of your coworkers. He's going to be like, fuck, they probably think I'm a chump, or they probably think that I'm like this. So they start getting upset with themselves. They start getting upset at you for bringing them there, embarrassing you, like this is all running through their head when clearly everything was innocent. They're like, hey, your man is great, whatever, right? Trust me, that goes on in a lot of guys. So the next one that I have is insecurity around ambition. If she's hustling and he's coasting, it can create guilt or resentment, especially if he's unsure about his own path. And that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as you're grinding and hustling, she should motivate you. You should be your own motivation. And if you're continuing trying to grow and like build whatever you're doing, she doesn't care. Like, she supports you. She sees the hustle. She sees the grind. She supports whatever you want to do. She's not like, well, I can't wait to find somebody who makes more than him because I'm going to go with them. Now, if you're not doing anything, just coasting along life, not really wanting to grow, that's why some people separate too, because they have different goals. You feel like somebody's just bringing you, like holding you back when you want to grow and do these great things. But this person that you're with doesn't want to do that because they're just comfortable like you're with the wrong person. You need to be with somebody who's in that same, like has that same motivation or is going to support that, because some people you may not find somebody who sees that on the same level and is just like that, but they're going to support you doing that. So yeah, it's definitely insecurity. Like I've talked about that before, insecurity within themselves, jealousy within other people, or they feel like people are talking bad about them. Again, like, the whole hater thing. Like, I guarantee you, if you ask him, like, oh, okay, again, if he has the friends who are poking him like that and making fun of him, those are not your friends. Friends are supposed to help you, motivate you, be there for you, and of course, every now and joke around with you. But if they're constantly like bashing you about it, there's a problem. There's an issue. They like to make you feel like that, because there's some people who project and want their negative. They want you to be negative just like them, right? And that's why they'll feed you information. They'll project their negativity on you because they want you to come down to their level. That's why, no, hell no. That's why it's also important to have conversations with your partner about like some of this stuff. Like, why are you listening to this person? You know, like they're not in a good place mentally. Why are you listening to them? You know, because we've all seen those like people who shouldn't be giving advice on certain things, and people actually listen to them. For example, like there was the whole guys on social media that were saying that a high value man should be able to cheat and stuff like that. Like, no, shut up with your fucking gibberish. It doesn't matter if you're a high value man, a low value. You should not be able to cheat. If you get with somebody and they only want to be boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, they don't want no other partners. Just because you think you're a high value man does not give you the right to go and cheat, and it should be okay, right? And so that's just them like saying like, oh, this I can do this, you know. And then there's also the example saying, like I know there was a whole movement of women going around saying men ain't shit, you know, but making every guy look bad when clearly not all guys are bad. You just happen to have some bad experiences with the guys that you've met, you know. Like you can't. That's like me starting a campaign, going around saying all women suck because I've had bad relationships. So now every fucking woman out there sucks. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why are you putting me in that category? Like, I'm not like that. So it's just like that. So the next one that I have is comparison culture. Social media fuels constant comparisons. Seeing couples where the guy is winning financially can make a man feel like he's falling behind. And see, that's why I say like social media is good and bad, because people start comparing their life to other people's life instead of thinking about them, where they're at, if they like what they want to do with their life. They're so like, how come he's doing this, she's doing that, like they're a couple and they're doing really well, like she's doing really well but I'm not doing well, you know. Like we start comparing ourselves to everybody instead of just worrying about yourself, you know. And that's why I'm saying like it sucks, because some people use that as comparison and it makes them upset, depressed, and many things. Or there's other people, not as much as that get motivated by it. Be like, damn, they're killing it. Like what do I need to do to get there? When I see people who are doing better than me, which are a shit ton of people, right? I feel like I'm just barely even like in the beginning. And I'm just like, all right, this is the process. Like, what do I got to do to, you know, to get here? Here's the next step. Here's the next step. Not just like, wow, they're doing what I want to do. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, why not? Why can't I be there? And then it starts just eating you up inside. No, you know, I'm just like, oh, they're doing well. What do I got to do to get my stuff at that level? Like, that's where I'm trying to get to. But now what are the steps to get there? Instead of being like, oh my God, like, how come I can't do this? So let's stop comparing ourselves to other people. We don't need that. But that's another reason why some guys are going to feel like that, because they're comparing themselves. Maybe they know a couple that the guy's doing really well and the wife is probably a stay-at-home wife, or just can just do whatever she wants because the guy does so well, right? So there's also stuff like that. And if that's the opposite way, sometimes the guys are going to be like, damn, like, am I the wife? And the last one that I have is lack of purpose. If he hasn't found his own direction, her success can make him feel more lost instead of motivated. And yes, that is definitely, because again, he's trying to compare himself to her. And if she's doing well, like has figured out, has met the right people, has done the right education, taken the right classes, put herself in the right rooms, met the right people, of course she's gonna, you know, that's the hustling mentality, the grinding mentality, compared to somebody who just, maybe they just work a regular job, which there's nothing wrong with that. But he hasn't put himself in those rooms. He hasn't done the networking events. He hasn't gone through school to do certain things. But then now he's just like, well, how is she doing all this and I can't do it? You know, the guy should be doing. What are people gonna say? What am I even supposed to be doing? You know, especially if you're in a relationship. That's why I'm saying, like, it. I don't think you guys should be discussing financial, like how much you guys make in the beginning. Like some people, body count, their financial situation is like some of the first stuff they need to know. Like, for what? You know? You're going to be able to tell with their social media if they got a job or what's going on, like if they got a career. Pay attention to, like, if you had to go pick him up and you had to pay for the bill, maybe he doesn't make that much money, because somebody who is doing pretty good is going to be like, all right, let me come pick you up. We're going to go here. Let's eat here, get whatever you want, and he's going to pick up the entire tab. Not going to be like, you want to pay 50-50? So yeah, they can definitely feel a lack of purpose. But I'm not saying like this is bad. Like, it's, if you're in a relationship now and if any of these fit, these next 8 things are going to hopefully help you to help them get rid of, like, shake that feeling. Know that it's okay. Like, this is what we got to do. So you don't have to feel like that, because imagine you trying to, like, it's such an issue that you take a pay cut somewhere because now you just want to make less because it's a problem at home. No, you work so hard to get there, but now you want to go backwards. So what we're going to talk about now is like things that they can do to shift their energy, change them up. Redefine masculinity. Stop trying to value a paycheck. Being masculine is more than money. It's a presence, protection, purpose, and partnership. And that's what I mean. Like, as long as you're supporting them and doing your own thing, not just living off of them or like being lazy, and stuff like that. If you're supporting them, whatever you can do, they're going to appreciate that, because sometimes some people get that opportunity, right? Maybe they're a content creator and they made a certain type of content and it just shot up because people love this type of content. That's like something that, that guy could go make the same video and it's not going to do well. They just like the personality. They like just something about how they made that video, so that it took off. But now it's like, hey, like, you got something here. Like, let's see where we can take it, see what we can do with it. Or their career, like how you can help them. Like, if they need anything, supporting them. There's nothing wrong with being the person that makes less. Stop like comparing yourself to other people. If you make less than your partner, it's okay. What you should be worried about is how your partner is, because friends come and go, family comes in and out of your life. But the person, like, most of the time, your partner is the one that sticks through everything, because this is your partner you're wanting to spend the rest of your life with. And so they're by your side. You should be more worried about them than like what other people are thinking. What does she think? What does she need from me? Talk to me. What do you need from me to help you support your career, support whatever you're doing? That way you can thrive and be the best person you possibly can. Because if she's doing great, it's going to give me the opportunity to be able to be in the same position. Meaning, like, what can I do now to help elevate my whatever I'm doing to the next level? So it's about that mindset. Like, you don't need, instead of feeling like you're not a masculine person, and if it's the biggest issue, kind of like when some people are like, I hate my body, I hate this, and I get it, but I tell people, don't be complaining to me, because I'm like, well, the best way to do it is that, build some confidence, go to the gym, hit the gym, lose some weight, eat a little bit better, and it's going to do great wonders for you. Then they start making excuses, and I'm like, all right, well, then stop fucking complaining to me, because if you're not going to do, like, there's nothing I can do. I can't be like, ooh, and then all of a sudden it fixes that in your head, right? So, like, there's no easy fix. Communicate openly. Talk about money dynamics without ego. Set shared goals, not competition. And that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of this stuff is just communication. It's just talking to your partner. Talk about money. Like, some people don't want to talk about money because it's a huge ego killer, or like a huge, like, hey, kind of like sex. Let's not talk about sex because that's where we shouldn't be talking. No, talk about money, because money problems are huge in relationships too. Like, they end relationships. They do this, they do that. And instead of being like, this is our goal, you're doing well now, maybe I can take some time and try to focus on my stuff. That way I can build it, and you just hold me down while I do that. I'm sure the girl's going to be like, hell yeah. Like, he has a plan. He has not just complacent, no goals, no motivation. And the next one that I have is focus on self-growth. Build skills, set goals, chase passions. Her success should inspire you. And that's what I've been trying to say earlier too. Like, it should be a motivation instead of a competition or like something that causes fights, causes it's an issue, causes friction in the relationship. It should be like, damn, like my girl, she killing it. Like, I will be bragging, be like, yo, she doing this, like she's killing it. Like now it's giving me the opportunity to build my stuff to the next level. Like it's shit is dope, right? Instead of being like, oh yeah, I mean, she kind of makes more than me. Like it just, yeah. No, I would be like, hell yeah, girl. So I think that's a huge problem when it comes down to like communication and just everything. Just having a conversation with somebody is gonna go a long way. And then setting goals and stuff. I'm sure your girl's gonna love him. Be like, damn, he has a plan. He has a goal. Kind of like businesses do. They have business plans. They have business goals. How do you think they grow? They just not like, all right, well, let's wing it. Fuck it. Even like the most like people that are not business savvy, they have some sort of goal to get that business bigger. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this, and they try to make it happen. You're trying to, so you're supporting her wins, but also trying to win in your own way. Like, hell yeah, she's killing it. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's hustling. She's grinding. She's moving up in her career. She's in the position to do better. Support that, because if she's doing really well, she could come back to you and be like, yo, so like, what is it that you want to do? And like, let's see if we can make that happen. You want to go back to school? You want to like start this? You want to start this side hustle? You want to do this? Like, what can we do to, now you have some time to focus, because some of these things take a lot of time, and it's really hard to do when you have like a full-time job, or like say like you're working 2 jobs because like you're trying to be the provider, now you guys can celebrate her wins. And because again, if she's winning, it's going to put you in the position to also win. That's why a lot of these rich people like they put their kids in the position to win, because they're winning, male or female, and they're able to put maybe their spouse in a winning position, their kids in a winning position. Because if they're doing well, what can we do to have you do well? Oh, you want to do a complete different business? You want to do this? We can start it. Let's do this. Now that we have maybe the finances, the opportunities, the networking, the people, we can do that. So, and same goes like with the guys winning. I'm sure you should also be open to your girl being like, all right, I'm doing well. What is it that you want to do? Like, how can we make you win as well? Because I want you to feel like you're winning too. Even though she probably does feel like you're winning if you're winning, but it's all about that support system. A lot of people talk about, it's always somebody who's going to help you like go to that next level is your partner. Like if there's like some sort of, we've seen these businesses like the one that comes to my head is Alex Hormozy and his wife. She 100% supported him, had his back for his ideas that he had. And, she was there when it was like nothing. And with that support system, he was able to like grow it and like turn it into something huge just because he had a great support system from her. So be a great support system, because the better she does, the better you're going to do. So just pay attention to that. Take pride in other roles. Maybe you're the supportive one, the hands-on parent, the emotional rock. That's valuable too, and that's 100% true. Like that's why communication is important. Find what she needs from you. How can you bring, like what she needs from you? Because if she continues to win, it's going to put you in a better position to win as well. If you're with a guy that just sees that everything as a competition, as a measuring stick, like I should be making more, like why are you making more? That's not the right person to be with, because they're going to continue to be like that. They're going to continue, because I'm sure like if something were to happen and they would make more, they'd be like, yes, like I make more than you now. Like they're going to be that type of person. And you don't want that type of person. So definitely celebrate her wins. Take pride in different roles. Don't be afraid. Stop listening to the fucking outside world. Worry about you and her. You and her. That's all you got to worry about. Worry about you and her for kids. again, stop worrying about what other people think. They don't live your life. They're not in your relationship. They're not, in this world of yours, like you and your wife. Because some people like, uh, they worry about so many other people that why? Like they don't live your life. Uh, Same goes with like, oh, like we're still together because our family wants us to be together. Like, no, they're not in the fucking relationship. Like they're not the ones having to deal with this shit. So stop worrying about them. Stop worrying. No, you should be worried about your mental health, your like sanity. Uh, and same goes with this. You should be worried about your relationship. Don't worry about anybody else's. Their relationship is not going to do anything to yours. You know, you looking a certain way is not going to do anything. You know, so that's why just worry about you. Find mentorship or brotherhood. Surround yourself with men who challenge and support you. Growth loves good company. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have the right friends around you, they'll be like, oh shit, that's dope. Your wife is killing it. It gives you the opportunity to do this. Instead of that person who's like, damn, like she's carrying you. Like, I wonder if her back hurts from all the carrying she's doing. You don't need that type of person in your life. You need people who are going to see what's going on, seeing where you bring value into this relationship too, whether it be financially or just supportive. Like they'll be like, oh shit, like you that rock for her, right? Because a lot of people don't have that rock. And, same goes with this in this dynamic. The guy gets an ego. And so now the girl's doing well financially, but she don't have that person who's like her rock, her emotional support, her this is this and that, because now she's more worried that you're trying to butt heads with her. You're angry about this. You're worried about this. She's trying to figure out what she can do so you don't feel insecure. So now she's worrying about focusing on career and then focusing about your feelings, like how your ego is hit by her making more. Instead of being like, damn, I got a really solid person at home who like supports, does this, like be that person if they make more than you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I've talked about it in the beginning. We live in a day and age where that happens, and it all comes down to like hustle, grind, the people the education, and the rooms you were put in. So that's why it's important to put yourself in rooms. Like if you want to be in real estate and want to be successful in real estate, put yourself in these rooms where they hold like mentorships and all this stuff. Go. Even if a lot of the shit that they're talking about, gives you the opportunity to show your face, and connect with some of these other agents who are doing really well. You can build a relationship and they might help you take your stuff to the next level because they're like, this person is really grinding to try to get there. I love their hustle. What can I do to help? Right? Because people who are doing well don't mind helping people, because if you start doing well, they start doing better. You know what I mean? Like the more they grow, you grow, the more they grow. That's how it is. But people have too much of an ego and insecurities. So set your own standard. Don't measure your worth based on someone else's wallet. Build your life at your own pace, but stay intentional. And it comes back to that whole, like, just have your own goals and like what you want to do and communicate that with your person. Guarantee you that's going to go a long way than not saying anything and just being upset. Because then it's just more of a friction type of relationship, like a battle of like what I got to do to make him happy because he doesn't like that I make more. He doesn't like that I went and bought this. He doesn't like that I could afford this, So that's what I'm saying. Like, fellas, it's okay if they make more. It's okay if they're doing better. Stop comparing yourself to that person. They could have started way before you. They could have started with the right people around them that got them there quicker, or showed them the way how to get there, even though sometimes it seems super complex. But having the right people there, knowing the right people will get you there. So definitely stop comparing your wallet. Find your value and what you bring to the table and how you can take it to the next level. Because if she has that peace of mind that you're doing this and not upset about that, she can do better and you can do better. Flip the mindset. Instead of she makes more than me, think, damn right, we are building an empire. And see, like, what happens to this whole thing? Like, I'm looking for somebody to build an empire with. So what you're saying is the empire had to, the dynamic in that was you making more first, and then they come in and they supplement whatever you're doing, right? I see it all the time. It's just when people share those memes, like looking for my person to build an empire. I want someone who wants to build an empire. Are you sure? Because what if you meet this person, or what if you're with someone who's already doing pretty well? How are you going to build an empire when you're upset that they're doing better? Now you're just trying to collapse that empire. You getting upset, you getting mad at your partner that they're doing better, like finding reasons to find upset, like instead of turning those feelings, because I get it. Sometimes it's natural to feel those feelings of just like, damn, like she's doing better. Does she even need me? Like, but we can get past that, because we get in our own heads a lot. Trust me, I get in my own head a lot too. But we can get past that. You can get past that. But that's flipping the mindset of every day, taking it day at a time. I'm not saying it's going to change overnight. I'm saying it's going to change eventually. If you put in the effort, same with like working out, you're eventually going to get that body you want, as long as you're being consistent and dedicated. Not motivation, because obviously like motivation fades. It comes and goes. The same goes with everything else. You're only motivated so much. There's some days where I don't want to record, but I'm just I need to record. I'm programmed myself to record. And that's how the same thing goes with like changing in any sort of mindset, is that you program yourself that, hey, you have to do this no matter if you tired, sleepy, don't want to do it, depressed, like you program yourself to do it. It has to happen. So, and the same thing goes with this, is like taking it day by day. Like some days you might feel a certain way, but you're just like, no, like, come on, just keep going. Let's keep going. We're going to get there. And then before you know it, you guys are building an empire. There's some people who are out here who have like so much shit. Like they've built such a great empire because they're not worried about, oh, you making this or you're making this. They're like, no, we are doing this. So and again, so if you've ever shared something like that or said something like that, guys, or you want somebody like that to build an empire, if she makes more, you got the perfect person to build an empire with. Because now you're just like, all right, now she's hustling, she's grinding. What can I do to help this empire grow? Instead of like using it and be like, I'm the one that should be like the breadwinner, or like, why does she make more? And there's too many guys out here that won't admit that they're upset over that the girl makes more than them. Because again, guys are not going to tell you exactly what they're upset about. It could be, they might use other things, and so and that's also another ego thing, is like actually telling somebody that you're upset that, it makes you feel a type of way that they make more than you. Yeah, I remember, like, I talk about it too. Like my first ex, she made more than me when we first got together. I wasn't like, fuck, like, why do you have to make more than me? I was just like, oh, damn, like she makes more than me. And like in my head, I'm like, what do I got to do to get to that level? Like the whole build an empire thing, because I'm like, I can't be that person who just like is just complacent, doesn't really want to do anything. Like I was like, no. Plus her grind and like hustle motivated me. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's how it should be, even though the relationship didn't work out for other reasons. But I'm not saying like it was all negative, the relationship, So definitely, fellas, if you have a girl who makes more money than you, you should be proud of yourself that, and proud of her. Not trying to bash her, trying to get upset at her. You should be proud of her that she got herself to that position, because there's plenty of people who want to get to that position and don't make it there or don't know how to get there. And you should be proud that you're with somebody like that. Imagine being like, yo, she's killing it. She's doing this, this, and this. Like, she's a beast. She's financially well. And then, because that's how I would be. I would be like, yo, she's doing this, she's doing this, she's doing this. She's killing it. Instead of being like, oh, like, yeah. Instead of feeling the other way, where you just feel a type of way that she's making more than you, because now you're thinking people are judging you. I don't give a fuck. You can say whatever you want. She's killing it, and she's putting us in a better position where I can also build something. You know what I mean? Like, and we can do something together great. And so that's how people need to see it instead of see it the other way. But again, this takes some time and process. Of course, you can't switch your mind overnight. But just knowing that, hey, like, this is the goal, this is what we're trying to do, and we can make it happen. Because people want to feel like they have some sort of purpose, they're bringing some sort of value. That's why, like, people get upset that they get picked last in PE, because now they feel like they're the less valuable. They don't bring value to the team. They don't see they were forced to be with them, right? So I get it. Because I was a kid too. Shit, I was like, I am not trying to get picked last, because I was like, I want to be somebody that sees the value in this guy. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. But the value doesn't have to always come financially, like on your end. It can be in other ways supporting your partner. Okay. So anyways, I want to thank you guys again for listening to the podcast. Every week, you guys support your boy, and I really do appreciate it. Every Monday, we have a new episode. Mondays and Thursdays, I go live on TikTok and IG. My random lives are going to be more on Twitch now. For a little while, I'm still going to be doing TikTok and Twitch, but eventually everything's going to be shifted over to Twitch, because I can just be open over there. And that's what I love about Twitch is, one, it's free for you guys. So it's not like you have to pay to see me on there. I can talk about some of these topics that if I say anything bad on TikTok, I get suspended for like a week. If I play music, I get suspended for like a few days on IG because copyright issues, and on Twitch, you can play music, you can talk about whatever, because as long as you put a disclaimer, it tells you right there that some of the topics we talk about are sexually. You have to be 18 and older. It says it right there. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want, and like, I don't have to worry about, all right, he likes to have S. I'm pretty sure you guys seen my TikToks, and you're just like, he says S, he says D, he says cat, he says online videos, corn, like he says all these stuff, because blame TikTok for that. I can't openly say shit, and I have to blur the words on the fucking questions, especially on the lives, because I realized that even though I didn't say it and they were on the screen, they would start. I was still getting suspended, and then once I started blurring those and then censoring myself, now I'm not getting suspended. You start learning. Twitch, you don't got to do none of this shit. They're cool about anything, but the lives, the question lives are always going to continue to be on IG and TikTok. I'm just talking about my random lives are going to be more on Twitch. Like, if I feel like going live one day, I'm just going to throw it up on Twitch. That way, like, it's a separate app. Some people don't want to sign up for TikTok. Some people don't want to sign up for IG. Twitch is not a social media platform. It's a streaming service, like streaming platform. So sign up for that. And it's free. And you ain't paying shit. So anyways, thank you guys again. And I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys go shop Naughty Science. Get yourself some tools so you can... I'll see you guys there.